Well, hello there, tribe. Oh, no. Bible scholars. We are Bible scholars. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It is your mom of three and NYC. And I'm back with another video. Yay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all my returning Bible scholars. Hey. To all of my new attendees, hello, 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 welcome. My name is Taneza. I am the mother of three opinionated children. They've got opinions, living in the heart of New York City. I would love for you to join my YouTube family, my tribe. All you have to do is hit that button that says subscribe. And a special thank you to all my new subbies. I so appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of helping my channel to grow. I so appreciate it. If you did not get a chance to yet, please make sure that you check out the review that I posted yesterday on 1 Samuel chapter 17, the story of David and Goliath. I had a lot of fun putting that one together for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy it. Today's review, Bible scholars, will be of 1 Samuel chapters 18, 19, 20, and 21. Those 4 chapters. All right. What an adventure this is, you guys. Honestly, I look forward to doing my Bible study. I look forward to taping. I look forward to editing these for you guys. I am enjoying reading through the Bible so much. All right, let's just jump right in. Oh, I will be reading from the NIV translation of the Bible. Whatever translation you have is perfect. Stick with it. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry about it. I got you. Every verse that I read, I will put on the screen. All right? All right. Little side button action for you guys. Totally off subject. It's 83 degrees in New York today. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday the 12th? Yep, Wednesday the 12th. It is 83 degrees in New York City. Crazy. All right, tribe. My Bible scholars, that is. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Chapter 18 begins. Saul is jealous of David. Saul's son Jonathan loves David very, very much. Since the day that David defeated Goliath, Saul has kept David with him. I wanted to read for you guys verse 5 of chapter 18. Whatever Saul sent him to do, David did it so successfully that Saul gave him a high rank in the army. This pleased all the people and Saul's officers as well. So David was loved by not only the king's son, but by the officers in the military as well. As the soldiers returned home from David defeating Goliath, women from all towns of Israel came out to meet King Saul with singing and dancing. Verse 7. Saul has slain his thousands and David his tens of thousands. Made Saul angry. This made Saul angry, and he became jealous of David. Saul even tried to harm David by pinning him to the wall with his spear twice while David played his harp. Verse 12 of chapter 18, Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with David but had left Saul. Saul sent David away, putting him in charge of 1,000 troops. Verse 14, in everything he did, he had great success because the Lord was with him. Let's just pause there for a moment, Bible scholars. Everything that David did, he had success. Not by his own might, not by his own power, but because the Lord was with him. I'm so inspired by that. So inspired by that. David's success grew fear in Saul, even as all of Israel and Judah loved David because of his successes in battle. Saul first promised his older daughter, Merab, in marriage to David, yet she was given to Adriel of Meholah instead. Verses 20 and 21. Now Saul's daughter Michal, is it Michal or Michal, Bible scholars? I'll say Michal, because it reminds me of Michael without the E. Now Saul's daughter Michal was in love with David, and when they told Saul about it, he was pleased. Verse 21. I will give her to him, he thought, so that she may be a snare to him, and so that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. So Saul said to David, now you have a second opportunity to become my son-in-law. Saul instructed his attendants to plant the seed in David's ear that he was pleased with David. He was well liked by all, and it was time to become the king's son-in-law. I have in my notes, David is still humble. Verse 25, he says, Saul replied, say to David, the king wants no other price for the bride than 100 Philistine foreskins to take revenge on his enemies. Saul's plan was to have David fall by the hands of the Philistines. David and his men, even though they were instructed to kill 100, killed 200 Philistines, double the required number. Saul gave his daughter Michal to David in marriage. I wanted to read for you all the final 3 verses of chapter 18, verses 28, 29, and 30. When Saul realized that the Lord was with David and that his daughter Michal loved David, Saul became still more afraid of him. He remained his enemy the rest of his days. The Philistine commanders continued to go out to battle, and as often as they did, David met with more success than the rest of Saul's officers. His name became well known. Chapter 19. Saul tells his son Jonathan and all the attendants to kill David. Because Jonathan is fond of David, he warns him. Verses 2 and 3 of chapter 19. Jonathan was very fond of David and warned him, my father Saul is looking for a chance to kill you. Be on your guard tomorrow morning. Go into hiding and stay there. I will go out and stand with my father in the field where you are. I'll speak to him about you and will tell you what I find out. Jonathan speaks to Saul. He reminds Saul that, 1, David has done no wrong to him, and secondly, David put his own life in danger when he killed Goliath. Verse 6. Saul listened to Jonathan, took this oath. As surely as the Lord lives, David will not be put to death. War broke out again. David went out to fight the Philistines. Again, he was victorious. Verses 9 and 10. But an evil spirit from the Lord came upon Saul as he was sitting in his house with his spear in his hand. While David was playing the harp, verse 10, Saul tried to pin him to the wall with his spear, but David eluded him as Saul drove the spear into the wall. That night, David made good his escape. So this is another time that Saul tries to kill David again. Saul sent men to David's house to kill him, but David's wife, Michal, warned him and told him to escape. She led David down a window Then put an idol on the bed, covered it with a garment and goat's hair. David fled. He went to Samuel and told Samuel everything that Saul had done to him. Saul was told that David was at Naioth. He sent men to capture David. I wanted to read for you guys verses 20, 21, and 23. So he sent men, Saul, to capture him. But when they saw a group of prophets prophesying with Samuel standing there as their leader, the Spirit of God came upon Saul's men, and they also prophesied. Saul was told about it. He sent more men. They prophesied too. Saul sent men a third time, and they also prophesied. Ooh, the strength of the Spirit of the Lord, you guys. Verse 23, Saul went to Naioth at Ramah, but the Spirit of God came even upon him. He walked along prophesying until he came to Naioth. So again, his plans were foiled 4 times. 4 times. I mean, when God protects his people, he truly protects his people. Chapter 20, David and Jonathan, verse 1. David fled from Naioth at Ramah and went to Jonathan and asked, "What have I done? What is my crime? How have I wronged your father that he is trying to take my life?" Again, remember, David has only done good. He has only done good. Jonathan explains to David that his father, Saul, always confides in him. David insists that because Jonathan likes David, Saul wants to kill him. In essence, Saul is jealous of his own son's love for David. Everyone loves David, right? The women of Israel, the army commanders, the attendants, his own son, all love David. And that breeds jealousy in Saul. I'm going to read for you verses 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Jonathan said to David, "Whatever you want me to do, I'll do for you." So David said, "Look, tomorrow is the new moon festival, and I am supposed to dine with the king, but let me go and hide in the field until the evening of the day after tomorrow. If your father misses me at all, tell him, 'David earnestly asked my permission to hurry to Bethlehem, his hometown, because an annual sacrifice is being made there for his whole clan.' If he says, 'Very well,' then your servant is safe. But if he loses his temper, you can be sure that he is determined to harm me. As for you, show kindness to your servant, for you have brought him into a covenant with you before the Lord. If I am guilty, then kill me yourself. Why hand me over to your father?" Jonathan tells David that the day after tomorrow, he will be able to report whether his father Saul is favorably disposed to David or not. I wanted to read for you verses 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. The day after tomorrow, toward evening, go to the place where you hid when this trouble began. Wait by the stone Ezel. I will shoot 3 arrows to the side of it, as though I were shooting a target. Then I will send a boy and say, 'Go, find the arrows.' If I say to him, 'Lord, the arrows are on this side of you, bring them here,' then come, because as surely as the Lord lives, you are safe. There is no danger. But if I say to the boy, 'Look, the arrows are beyond you,' then you must go, because the Lord has sent you away." About the matter you and I discussed, remember, the Lord is witness between you and me forever. The new moon festival came. 2 days in a row, David did not show up to eat. Saul asked, "Why is David absent?" Verses 28 and 29. Jonathan answered, "David earnestly asked me for permission to go to Bethlehem. He said, 'Let me go, because our family is observing a sacrifice in the town, and my brother has ordered me to be there. If I have found favor in your eyes, let me get away to see my brothers. That is why he has not come to the king's table.'" Saul was angry. Just like David predicted, Saul was angry. He curses Jonathan. He demands that Jonathan bring David to him to be put to death. Verses 32 and 33. "Why should he be put to death? What has he done?" Jonathan asked his father. Saul hurled his spear at him to kill him. Then Jonathan knew that his father intended to kill David. Jonathan went out into the field with a small boy. He shot arrows beyond him. The boy picked up the arrows, gave it back to Jonathan. He had the boy carry him back to town. The final 2 verses of the chapter, 41 and 42. After the boy had gone, David got up from the south side of the stone and bowed down before Jonathan 3 times with his face to the ground. Then they kissed each other and wept together, but David wept the most. Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace, for we have sworn friendship with each other in the name of the Lord, saying, 'The Lord is witness between you and me, and between your descendants and my descendants forever.'" Then David left. Jonathan went back to the town. Chapter 21, David at Nob. David at Nob. David went to Nob to visit the priest Ahimelech. David tells him the king has sent him on a secret mission. He asks Ahimelech for 5 loaves of bread. Verse 4, "But the priest answered David, 'I don't have any ordinary bread on hand. However, there is some consecrated bread here, provided the men have kept themselves from women.' The priest gives David the bread. David asks Ahimelech for a spear or a sword, as he doesn't have one with him. Verse 9, the priest replied, 'The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, is here. It is wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If you want it, take it. There is no sword here but that one.' David said, 'There is none like it. Give it to me.'" David at Gath. So those that know, current Bible scholars, know that this Bible was gifted to me in 2006 by my now husband, then boyfriend, Hubsters. And so I love to read anything that he's underlined or I have through the years and share it with you guys. And so the last, 6 verses of chapter 21 are underlined. So I'm going to read them aloud to you guys. "That day David fled from Saul and went to Achish, king of Gath. But the servants of Achish said to him, 'Isn't this David, the king of the land? Isn't he the one they sing about in their dances? Saul has slain his thousands and David his tens of thousands.' David took these words to heart and was very much afraid of Achish, king of Gath. So he pretended to be insane in their presence. And while he was in their hands, he acted like a madman, making marks on the doors of the gate and letting saliva run down his beard. Achish said to his servants, 'Look at the man. He is insane. Why bring him to me? Am I so short of madmen that you have to bring this fellow here to carry on like this in front of me? Must this man come into my house?'"
Hey tribe, this is Taneza from the future, editing Taneza. Just wanted to jump on here really quickly to remind you guys that Gath is where Goliath was from. So David, in chapter 17, he killed Goliath. He's now in Goliath's hometown. So he acted mad in an effort to protect himself. And it worked.
Ooh, what happens next? Wow. I'm just reminded you guys that even though David had done everything right, even though David had been more brave than all of the Israelite soldiers by volunteering to fight Goliath, he was brave enough to volunteer to fight him. He fought and was victorious. Again, this man was 4 feet taller than he was. He did everything that had been asked of him and more, and only done what was right, and yet and still he was being persecuted. So just to encourage any of my Bible scholars out there, be encouraged by this story of David to stay courageous, stay steadfast. There may be times, unfortunately, that even though we're doing the right thing, we are still persecuted. But yet we will still be victorious because why? God is with us. Thank you for joining me for this review. Again, I post reviews 3 a week. This is my second review this week. There's going to be one more. In that review, we will go over chapters 22, 23, 24, and 25. Wow, guys, we only have, then will be 26, 27, 28, and then 29, 30, and 31. Then what do I see? 2 Samuel. Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. Stay encouraged. Bible scholars, look at that. We have read all of this. It's amazing. Amazing. Again, as always, please leave any questions, any comments, any revelations down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please continue to share my reviews with your friends, family, anyone that you think would get something out of learning about the Word of God. And again, thank you for your support. I look forward to seeing you in my next review. Bye, Bible scholars.